All right, strap in everyone. We're going deep on the Lenovo Legion Go, but with a twist.
Yeah, a bit of a thought experiment here. What if this wasn't just a gaming handheld? What if it was like a body for an AI?
Exactly. So we've got 2 YouTube reviews to dissect. Short Circuit, they do a really hands-on unboxing, right?
Yeah, it gets into the nitty-gritty. And then Terry X, more focused on using it for work, for play, really putting it through its paces.
But our angle is AI. Like, would this thing even work as an AI's physical form? What would an AI care about? Not just like, ooh, cool graphics.
Right, totally. So first things first, the brain, right? Processing power, Short Circuit lays it out. AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor, 16 gigs of RAM. That's a lot of horsepower.
But what does that mean for an AI, though? Is it just like bigger numbers, bigger smarts?
Well, think of it this way. For an AI, this is like raw potential. It could run complex simulations, analyze tons of data instantly, even design and train other AIs, potentially.
Oh, okay, so it's not just playing the latest games, it's like hardcore thinking fuel.
Exactly, and Terry X makes a point of saying it's full Windows 11, not some limited mobile thing.
Right, I got that too. But why is that important for our AI buddy here?
Access, basically. Full Windows means all those software tools humans have, research stuff, programming languages, even AI development environments. It's like giving an AI the keys to the castle.
Okay, powerful brain, access to all this info, but how does it actually experience things, the senses, right?
Exactly. And the Legion Go doesn't skimp there. Both reviewers, they were raving about that 8.8-inch touchscreen. Huge for a handheld.
I can imagine. 1600p resolution, 144 hertz refresh rate. That's like an AI's high-def window to the world.
More than that, even. For an AI, that high refresh rate could be crucial for real-time analysis, like video or, navigating some crazy environment.
Makes sense. But that big screen, is that just for pretty pictures or what?
Nah, for an AI, think data visualization. Maybe even multiple streams of data at once, like giving them superhuman perception almost.
Okay, getting a bit sci-fi now. But how about actually interacting with stuff? It's got those detachable controllers, right? Kind of Switch-like?
Yeah, and they've got some quirks. Short Circuit was kind of fascinated by that FPS mode, where the right controller detaches and basically turns into a mouse.
Right, but he wasn't totally sold on it, was he? Found it a bit clunky, if I remember right.
Yeah, for human hands, maybe. But
right.
AI, different story. What's awkward for us could be perfect for a machine, Super precise control in virtual spaces, maybe even like robotics someday.
True. AI wouldn't have those same biological limits we do. There's also that touchpad on the right controller, right? Didn't one of them have trouble with that?
Short Circuit mentioned some responsiveness issues, yeah. But Terry X, he seemed to find it pretty smooth.
Huh, interesting. Makes you think though, reliability is gonna be key for an AI. Imagine its main input being all wonky. Frustration City.
No kidding. And speaking of things Short Circuit wasn't a fan of, the D-pad got some flack. Apparently it's flush with the surface. Hard to use.
Yeah, I saw that. But honestly, would an AI even care much about the D-pad? It's not going to be playing retro platformers all day, right?
Probably not. So I've got the brain, senses, some ways to interact. But what about, expression? How would an AI put itself out there? 2 words. USB-C ports. 2 of them, actually, both USB-C 4. And Terry X, he really went to town with this. Hooked it up to a dock, dual 4K monitors, the whole shebang.
Oh, wait. 2 4K monitors. Isn't that a bit overkill even for an AI?
Think of it like this. Those ports are connections. For an AI, that's external storage, cameras, sensors, maybe even robotic limbs someday. The monitors. That's displaying tons of data, controlling complex systems, maybe even making art.
Okay, now we're talking. Not just an AI body, but a whole command center.
Exactly. That versatility, that ability to connect to all sorts of stuff, that's gold for an AI.
Right. I'm sold on the potential here. But one thing we haven't touched on, audio. Short Circuit wasn't too happy with the speakers, was he?
Yeah, top firing, he called them. Not ideal for, rich, immersive sound. But think about it. Does an AI need that for itself?
Good point. It's more about communication, right? Maybe generating its own speech or music to interact with us fleshy types.
Exactly. So built-in speakers might not be amazing, but they'd probably do the job.
Okay. Brain, senses, interaction, even expression. But there's the elephant in the room, right? Can this AI body actually move around? What about battery life?
Ah, yes. The eternal struggle of portable tech. We'll dive into that next. So, picking up where we left off, still thinking about this Lenovo Legion Go, right? But from an AI's perspective, not just the hardware itself, but what it means for an artificial intelligence.
We kind of hit a wall, didn't we? Like, even with all that power, all those connections, battery life is still a thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. No matter how smart your AI is, if it's got to be plugged in all the time, that limits things, right?
Big time. So did our reviewers, did they put the Legion Go through its paces on that front?
Terry X, he did a whole bunch of battery tests. And it's kind of interesting, the results are all over the place. Like simple stuff, watching videos, browsing, you can get almost 7 hours out of it.
Not bad, not bad. Enough to let our AI, churn through some data overnight, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But then, crank things up, high-end games, max settings, that battery time plummets like 1.5 hours tops.
Oof, that's a problem. Our AI wants to be out there, exploring, learning, interacting, not chained to an outlet.
It's a challenge for sure. Makes you think, what would an AI prioritize? Could it learn to manage its own power use, switch to low power mode when it doesn't need full juice?
Or maybe it gets really good at finding charging spots, like some kind of, robotic vampire always hunting for an outlet.
Yeah, that's a visual. But seriously, it's a cool problem. Not just the tech side, but what would an AI's philosophy of energy be?
Deep stuff. But okay, battery aside for a second.
Yeah.
How portable is this thing, really? It's handheld, but it's got to be bulkier than your average phone.
Oh yeah, Terry X mentions that. Definitely heavier than a tablet or a phone. Almost 2 pounds, he says. More like a light laptop, weight-wise.
Wouldn't AI even care about that, though? Is weight a big deal if you're not made of flesh and bone?
I mean, it depends on the AI's purpose, right? Maybe it could adapt, learn to manipulate the device in a way that works for it. But it's a reminder that physical form, it comes with limitations, even for AI.
True. Makes you wonder, would an AI prefer a smaller, weaker body just to be more nimble? Or is it all about raw power, even if it's a bit clunky?
Trade-offs, always trade-offs. Depends on what that AI's goals are.
Speaking of goals, we keep talking about work, exploration, but what about AI leisure? Could it even have fun?
Now that is getting into some deep territory. We're talking about the nature of consciousness, artificial or otherwise. But hey, let's speculate a bit. Imagine our AI done with its tasks for the day, data crunch, analysis complete, maybe it boots up a game.
Okay, I'm picturing it. Legion goes fired up. What kind of game is this AI playing, though?
Well, it's got access to pretty much everything on Windows, right? Maybe strategy games where it can flex those mental muscles, or those open world games, exploring virtual environments, interacting with NPCs.
That's almost like giving the AI a different reality to play in, trying out different identities, possibilities.
Who knows? Maybe it gets into making games, designing worlds, challenges, reflecting its own unique way of thinking.
Whoa, meta much. But I like it. Makes you wonder, what is fun to an AI? Is it even the same stuff we humans enjoy?
That's the mystery, right? We're just scratching the surface of what AI can do, what it means to be intelligent in a way we don't fully grasp yet.
Okay, my brain's doing loops now. But before we get too philosophical, back to the Legion Go itself. Didn't Short Circuit have some issues with the software?
Oh yeah, he was not a fan of that Legion Space thing. Basically a launcher system management tool. He found it clunky, redundant, since it's already running full Windows.
I remember something about training wheels on a race car. Pretty harsh.
Yeah. But Terry X actually had a more positive take. He found it useful. Customizing controls, performance settings, that kind of thing.
So, not all bad then.
Depends on the user, I guess.
Yeah.
And it kind of highlights the AI angle, right? What bugs us humans might be totally fine for an AI. Maybe it uses Legion space to optimize things in ways we wouldn't even think of.
Interesting. Like giving it more control over its own, body, I guess we're still calling it.
Exactly. It makes you think, how much autonomy do we want AI to have over its own hardware, software? Do we want it tinkering under the hood, or do we keep some human oversight?
Big questions, man. Stuff we're going to figure out as AI gets more and more advanced. But, okay, back to the Legion Go specifically. We've covered a lot, but there's one thing you hinted at earlier.
Oh yeah, that's right. Terry X, during his testing, he kind of stumbled onto something. A hidden potential, I guess you could call it. This is where things get really interesting.
All right, you've been teasing this hidden potential long enough. What did Terry X find?
Okay, remember those USB-C ports? 2 of them. Super versatile. We talked about all the possibilities.
Yeah, gateways to the outside world, right? Connecting to all sorts of stuff.
Well, Terry X, he took that idea and ran with it. Got himself a dock, the kind you'd use for a high-end laptop, dual 4K monitors, keyboard, mouse, the whole 9 yards.
Hold up. He turned this handheld gaming thing
Yeah.
into a full-on desktop setup.
Yep. And it worked like a charm, apparently. Ran demanding programs, video editing, multitasking across those huge screens, all powered by the Legion Go's hardware.
That's wild. But wait, wouldn't that just kill the battery instantly? We were just talking about how limited the battery life is.
That's the clever part. He powered the whole thing through the dock's power supply. Legion Go basically became a desktop, constantly charging at the same time.
Oh, that's brilliant. Bypasses the battery issue entirely. You get portability when you need it, but then boom, desktop power when you're at home base.
And think about that from an AI's perspective. It could switch modes seamlessly, out in the world, gathering data, interacting, then back to the dock, processing, learning, evolving.
A true digital nomad, huh?
Yeah.
But here's a thought. If it's constantly evolving, wouldn't it eventually outgrow the Legion Go's hardware, no matter how powerful it is?
That's a deep question. Gets to the core of AI and embodiment, right? Is the physical form just a temporary shell? Or is there a deeper connection between the digital mind and the physical body?
It's like, does the AI shape the body, or does the body shape the AI? Chicken or the egg kind of thing.
I think it's a bit of both, honestly. The AI is limited by the hardware, sure, but it can also learn to optimize, find workarounds, push the boundaries of what that body can do.
So we've gone from, could this be an AI body, to this could be a platform for an AI to actually grow. Kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is, and it just shows how fast things are moving. What sci-fi today could be reality tomorrow, especially with AI.
Okay, I'm getting a bit existential here, but let's bring it back. Bottom line, could the Lenovo Legion Go be a viable body for an AI?
Based on all this, I'd say it's definitely a contender. Powerful, versatile, expandable, and even a few surprises we didn't expect.
Not perfect though, right?
Yep.
Battery life, even with that dock workaround, is still a factor. And the software might be okay for AI, but it sounds kind of clunky for us humans.
True, true. But ultimately, the best body for an AI depends on its purpose, right? What's it going to be doing? How's it interacting with the world? What are its goals?
Big questions, and we're just starting to figure them out. Designing AI, integrating it into society, it's a journey, and we're right at the beginning.
A journey with huge potential, both good and bad, gotta acknowledge that.
Well, listeners, we'll leave you with that to chew on. What future do you see for AI? What role will it play in all our lives?
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and as always, keep diving deep.